and welcome to Hypnotize Me, the podcast about hypnosis, transformation, and healing. This is Dr. Liz, and before we get started on today's topic, I want to remind you that in the month of June 2017, I'm running a contest. Woo! When you leave a review for the podcast on whatever player you want to leave that review on, if you email me the review and your username, then I'm going to enter you into a drawing for a Hypnotize Me podcast t-shirt. The logo is really cute. So I will order it in whatever size you are and send it wherever you are in the country. I know this podcast is listened to in 61 different countries. So that's quite amazing to me. And I will try to get it to you wherever you are in the country if you win the drawing. So that is the June contest. The winner will be announced in July 2017. So today's question, let's jump right in, is can hypnosis help you do better on the ACT? So the ACT stands for American College Testing. Okay, and it's used for U.S. colleges and universities for entrance. SAT is similar. It is Scholastic Aptitude Test. Most kids take both of these, actually. Most high schoolers here in the U.S. take both of these if they're wanting entrance into a college, because most colleges require one or sometimes both of these scores. The question here is whether hypnosis can help you do better on the SAT or the SAT. And I know parents want to know the answer to this question, probably more so than kids. Now, let me say that the study was done with the ACT. I did not find a study done for the SAT. So, in true scientific fashion, I have to say, these results should not be generalized to other conditions, right? But we all have thinking brains. And honestly, if this didn't help on the ACT, it's doubtful it's going to help on the SAT too. I know I have a 15-year-old ACTs are coming up, and we're getting nervous about them. At least I am. She's actually not nervous about them at all. I'm more nervous about them than she is. So, I've got to look at that, right? Calm down, mama, calm down. Let's look at the study and see what's going to help, because you can bet your money that I've thought about, is hypnosis going to help her do better on her tests? Let's see. So this study, which is titled The Effects of Encoding in Hypnosis and Post-Hypnotic Suggestions on Academics' Performance, was done by Jacobson, Kramer, Tharp, Costa, and Hawley. It was published in 2011 in the American Journal of Clinical Hypnosis. And again, these studies are always in the show notes. And what they did actually is bring some kids in, 56 of them, and put them in a hypnotic state and read a passage out of the ACT test. Okay, so directly from one of their practice tests. And they had also noted their ACT scores beforehand. And then they gave them a short questionnaire, a 10-item questionnaire on that passage after they did the hypnosis. And they had a control group too. So the control group didn't get hypnosis. Let me be clear here. This is not we gave them a pre-test ACT, we made them study, and then we gave them a post-test ACT. Okay, because when I read the abstract of this study, I was really excited to see what would happen. And then when I read the actual study, I was like, wait a minute. All they did is read them a passage and then see how they did post-hypnosis on that passage. And the passage does come from the ACT. So I was a little disappointed about that, to tell you the truth. I thought it was not a beefy study, really wasn't. But the results they found is probably why they didn't do a better study. Now, before we get into the results, let me just remind you, there's other studies that have been done on memory that they cite, of course, because, every research study has this literature review, this little mini literature review that they do on their topic. And what they found in the literature review is that hypnosis tends to increase your confidence that you know the answer. But they were really looking at, do they really know the answer? So there's a big difference between feeling confident and actually knowing the answer. And a lot of the previous studies have also tested free recall versus, okay, you're about to take a test and let's see how you do on it pre and post hypnosis. So let's look at the results of this. Did it work? We want to know. So first they said, okay, what about the passage they read? Can they remember that? And what they found is that the hypnosis actually impaired their performance. Let me say that again. The people in the hypnosis group did worse on the tests. Okay, worse. This was not good news when I read it. But that's what it was, people. Like the theory here is like, okay, if you learn something under hypnosis, like meaning it's read to you or the information is presented to you in hypnosis, then you're going to do better on recall later. And that is not what this study found at all. Okay, they did worse. So that is something to know. Don't try to study for your ACT under hypnosis. All right? Like, is it good to be relaxed while you're studying? Not necessarily. Like, sometimes it's good to be focused, concentrated, like boom, 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 right? Like you're whipping through the material and you're getting through it well. And there's a little bit of tension there, right? That is often how we learn, with a little bit of tension there. When you get too relaxed, what happens? You get a little sleepy. I know I do. Right? And that's not the best way to learn something. It really isn't. So this study supports that. Like, no, you don't want to go into trance to try to learn, despite what hundreds of products on the market try to tell you and sell you. Don't waste your money. All right? Don't waste your money having someone hypnotize you and then prep you for the ACT or the SAT under hypnosis. Not going to work. It's going to make you do worse. If you want to do hypnosis for, in general, increasing your concentration, memory, focus, ability to recall, yes, that works. Go listen to that episode. But do not try to learn under hypnosis. What they're finding is that you could actually do worse, right? Not better. You could do worse. So do not try to do active learning type of stuff under hypnosis, like where you have to memorize words, passage, this type of thing. Okay. Now, is a relaxed hypnotic state like wonderful for changing other stuff in your life? Absolutely. Changing habits, patterns, reducing pain, headaches, all kinds of research about how it's wonderful for that. But when you're talking like actual recall, don't try to learn it under hypnosis. So an episode that's coming up is about learning a second language, like vocabulary for a second language. I don't want to give away the whole episode, but they didn't try to teach those words when someone was in hypnosis. They brought them out, which was wise of them. But this is my point. Don't try to teach stuff that someone actually has to like recall and remember word for word while they're under hypnosis. This study said that they actually did worse. Okay, worse. So you don't want your kid doing that on the ACT or SAT, or yourself, if you're listening to this for yourself. You don't want to do that on the ACT, SAT. You want to do better, right? So do a general hypnosis for increasing your concentration, memory, and ability to learn, your ability to focus, your ability to recall. You know, the episode I did about academic performance has some really good information about books you can use and memory techniques and speed reading. Like those are much better methods of improving your ACT and SAT score than using hypnosis. Okay. So go give that one a listen, and I'll put the episode in the show notes, but they're going to air right around the same time. So you should be able to find it pretty quickly. Okay, people, I hope you have a wonderful week. Peace. If you like this episode, do me a favor and rate, review, and subscribe on whatever player you like, or even better, tell a friend so that more and more people learn about hypnosis and how it can be helpful for them. If you want to know more about me, head over to DrLiz-Hypnosis.com. That's DrLiz Hypnosis.com. You can see the downloads and see if there's one that's helpful for your life, or you could also join the newsletter and get a couple of free files as well as lots of good content. I've written a newsletter for well over 10 years. Go ahead and subscribe and join the rest of the world. All right, people, have a wonderful week.